According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average American household now spends over $3,500 a year on food away from home, a figure that has climbed steadily alongside the rise of delivery apps and grab-and-go retail. Imagine a father pulling into his driveway at 6:30 p.m. He's exhausted after a long shift and a taxing commute. As he sits in the car for a moment of silence, he looks at the bag of takeout on the passenger seat. It costs $65 for a family of 4, a convenience fee, to avoid the kitchen for one night. It feels like a small, well-deserved relief in a busy week. The internal thought, the lie we tell ourselves, is, it's only $20 more than cooking, and my time is worth the expense. But the invisible math reveals a different reality. When that $20 more happens 3 times a week, every week, it ceases to be a time saver and becomes a structural leak in the family's future. Our goal today is to replace that feeling of exhaustion with a strategy of clarity and wisdom. We aren't here to judge a single meal, but to help your family move from a drift of convenience to a life of intention. This habit of convenience spending persists because our modern world is engineered to remove friction. We live in an era of one-click ordering, saved credit card details, and doorstep delivery. Retailers and tech platforms understand that the easier it is to buy, the less likely we are to think about the cost. They offer rewards and membership perks to make us feel like we are winning the game, while the system encourages us to prioritize the immediate relief of now over the long-term stability of later. Number 1. The delivery app markup. The hidden reality of digital convenience is the layered cost. Between service fees, delivery fees, small order surcharges, and the silent markup on menu items themselves, a meal ordered through an app can cost 30% to 45% more than the same meal picked up in person. We aren't just paying for food. We are paying a premium for the 4 miles of travel and the software that facilitated it. If a family spends an extra $40 a week on these convenience markups, that totals roughly $160 a month. If that $160 were instead placed into a steady investment account earning 8% annually, in 20 years, that convenience would cost the family $94,200. Nearly $100,000 is sacrificed for the sake of not driving 10 minutes to pick up a bag of food. Our brains are wired to choose the path of least resistance. When we are tired, the mental effort required to plan a meal feels higher than the financial cost of the app. The stewardship alternative is the emergency meal. Always keep one 15-minute meal, like pasta or a frozen stir-fry, in the pantry specifically for nights when you are too tired to cook. It breaks the reliance on the app by providing an even faster, cheaper alternative. Number 2. The subscription ghost payments. The hidden reality of modern software and entertainment is the set-and-forget model. Small monthly charges for streaming services, cloud storage, or premium, ad-free tiers feel insignificant individually. However, these are ghost payments, money leaving your account for services you may only use once a month, or perhaps not at all. Trimming just $75 a month in redundant or low-value subscriptions might seem trivial today. But that $75 a month, invested at a 7% return over 20 years, grows to approximately $39,000. That is a significant down payment on a home or a child's education, currently being spent on digital content that is never consumed. We fear that if we cancel a service, we might miss out on a specific show or feature later, even if we aren't using it now. The stewardship alternative is the manual renewal rule. Turn off auto-renew on every non-essential service. If you truly want the service next month, you can manually pay for it. You will be surprised how many you simply forget to renew. Number 3. The impulse add-on culture. The hidden reality of modern retail, especially online, is the suggested for you algorithm. It's the $10 gadget added to reach free shipping or the impulse buy at the checkout counter. These items are designed to trigger a small dopamine spike. They are rarely planned and often end up as clutter in a drawer within 90 days. If a family averages just $50 a week in unplanned impulse convenience buys, items bought because they were on sale or easy to add, they're spending $2,600 a year. Invested at 8% over 20 years, Those impulse buys represent a lost wealth of $127,000. We are trading a decade of early retirement for a collection of plastic items we don't truly need. By the time we reach the end of a shopping trip, our willpower is depleted, making us vulnerable to clever marketing. The stewardship alternative is the list-only mandate. Whether shopping online or in-store, if it isn't on the written list before you start, it doesn't enter the cart. This simple discipline restores the boundary between your needs and the retailer's goals. Number 4. The premium gas and brand name premium. The hidden reality of convenience often extends to the brands we choose simply because they are familiar or feel higher quality. From premium fuel in engines that don't require it to brand name household staples that have the exact same ingredients as the generic version, we often pay a 20% to 40% familiarity tax. A family that saves $100 a month by switching to generic staples and choosing the most cost-effective fuel and insurance options is reclaiming $1,200 a year. Over 20 years at 7%, that discipline yields over $52,000. This is the reward for choosing substance over the feeling of a brand name. We often associate brand names with being a good provider or quality conscious. We feel that buying the generic version is a sign of lack. The stewardship alternative is the blind test. Try the generic version of your top 5 household staples. If you can't tell the difference in quality, commit to the savings. These points reveal a pattern of unconscious spending versus intentional living. Convenience is a product sold to us, often at the expense of our long-term peace. When we examine the math, we see that these small, normal daily leaks are actually the very things preventing us from reaching our larger family goals. Wealth is not found in the luxury of the items we display or the ease with which we bypass chores. Wealth is the freedom you keep, rather than the things you show. By tightening these leaks, you aren't missing out. You are choosing to direct your hard-earned resources toward things that actually last: your children's future, your family's security, and your ability to be generous to others. Your resources either build someone else's empire or they build your family's legacy. Knowing the difference is where your freedom begins.